Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zombie Killer here. I have an announcement for everyone to hear. This is my thoughts on the furry and brony fandoms, two fandoms that I have been loosely affiliated with in much of my work through via stories, through hopefully making games. I'm getting into that. That's going to be exciting because I'm actually making good progress on one, but I digress. My thoughts pertaining to these two fandoms is bittersweet at best. Like there are some good people. As in with everything, you're going to find there are some shitty people in the world. Yeah, there are. There's no sidestepping that. You're going to find scumbags in this world. But with these two fandoms in particular, I've discovered them more here than anywhere else that I've ever seen or witnessed or ever been to. Any other fandom are they're just like the worst people I've ever met in my entire life, and that's saying an awful lot. I mean, I've encountered personally in my life some very unpleasant and unsavory individuals, people that were just unpleasant to be around that you just don't want to have anything to do with. And that was okay in high school, yes, but even high school wasn't as bad as the Brony and Furry Fandoms. Not even they were that bad, and most people's unpleasant experiences come from high school. Typically, that's where you would get a lot of trauma or post trauma from. But they weren't even the worst. At worst, you may get a couple of people that went that extra mile to make your life a little bit of a living hell. And you know what? That's everywhere you go. That's par for the course. It's like, okay, I mean, the dude doesn't have a life. I pity him. And I wish the best for him. I wish Godspeed in you finding something more productive to do. But the most unpleasant individuals by far came from the Brony and Furry fandoms. And in high school, the worst you'll ever get from people is that hardly anything at all. If you don't talk to them, they really just ignore you. No one's inclined to talk to you if they don't wish to do so. They don't cause you trouble. They don't make it their ultimate objective to screw with you every chance they get. Whereas the Brony and Furry fandoms have done this to me as often as they had the chance to do so, without hesitation. They did this like instant, like within a snap. They did it the moment they had the opportune moment, like the opportunity to do that, like in a heartbeat. They made it happen. They made it their ultimate objective at that moment to screw with you, to be the absolute pain in your ass as they most possibly could. And I would say it, and I'm going to say this. I don't care if they hate me for this, but I view the bronies and the furries as the most cowardly and hypocritical people I've ever met in my entire life. That's pretty bad. That's that's pretty fucking bad. I mean, I've encountered some bad people, haven't we all? But the worst individuals I have ever encountered in my entire life came from those two fandoms. And this isn't just a small sum of individuals. This isn't just a minute amount. No, 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 no. This is a lot of people, like a lot of people that are in this, that are affiliated in this fandom or these two fandoms. Some, like I had mentioned in my previous discussion, I have encountered that I don't really like, but I have my own reasons, because they're cowardly pieces of shit. I had briefly mentioned at least once, what's his face? Uh, oh, holy crap, I forgot. Pagan, yeah, he's in line with the with Pony Optica and Dem. Pagan is mostly harmless if he doesn't have anybody, if no one is joining in. Like he won't do anything unless his other colleagues join in on the fun. Then he groups in. Otherwise, he's not really anybody you'd be worried about. Dem, like I had also mentioned, is just an asshole to people. Period. He's just a schmuck. There's just wasted potential on those individuals, which is really it's really sad. It's very unfortunate because They actually had talent. Even if what they did was, well, very fetish heavy, they still had potential and talent. And I'm going to admit that because I have to be honest. They did and still do. It's just that it's wasted on people as awful as that. But they came from the same exact group of the people I'm mentioning, so this makes their name mentioning important. The bronies and furries together have consisted actually of the worst individuals and a few of the best. This is why I said this is a little bit bittersweet in the beginning. The best friends I've ever made on Discord are furries and bronies. And if they happen to be watching this video, you guys, I cannot express with words how grateful I am. And I have to say, I thank you very much for your love, respect, compassion, and support as a brother. It means everything to me. And having people like that, it gives you a little bit of hope for humanity. It really does. There are some good people in the world that exist. Yes, there are. They're not very often noticed, but when they are, you'll notice it. I can tell you that out of utmost certainty. I guarantee you 100% you're going to notice if they're going to be good. Most of the brony and furries are very sociopathic. They're very manipulative individuals. They make you think that they're okay, and they give off the vibe that everything's fine, you know? But once you no longer serve a purpose and you've outlived your usefulness to them, they'll let you know about it and it won't be pleasant. You're not going to like how it ends. This will not be like a happily ever after like the Disney movies love to portray. This is not a good ending. Just want to point that out right quick. The video I made before was a lot longer, but that was because I was trying to explain in my defense what was said to me about me from Pony Optica about me that wasn't true. That was completely fabricated. It was an embellishment because he didn't like me and wanted to say something, I guess. Dude has a stick up his ass, but again, not my problem anymore. I've forgiven him and chosen to move on. But he's not the goal focus of this video. I'm saying in general, most, if not all, not all of them, most of them, because if I said all, I wouldn't have had those good friends. So all of them are a mixed bag, with most of them being the very unpleasant ones, the ones that it kind of makes you ask yourself, why are they hated? Why are the bronies and the furries hated so badly? They're treated with such indignation. Why is that, do you think? Why are people not liking you? Why people treat you with scorn? And no, it's not because they're into childish things. It's not because you watch a show for little girls. No, I am not satisfied with that answer. No, that's not the reason why you're disliked. I'm gonna clear that up right fucking quick. That's not the reason why you're disliked. That's a very shallow reason, and I find that unacceptable. No, it's because of the way you present yourself to others. It's the way you treat other people. This is what happens to you as a result. And I'm sorry, but that is not okay. That is not alright. Yeah, I said it. And if they hate me for it, I honestly don't give a shit. I don't give a dead moose's last shit if they hate me for it. I speak the truth, something that they seem to fear. They have an aversion to the truth. And that's not my problem. Nor is it my concern. And a lot of them are also very mentally unstable too. I've noticed that. They're very needy, very clingy, very affectionate. And in most instances, it's not the good kind of affectionate, guys. No, I'm not talking about pedo levels of awful, but just uncomfortable. You look at this and you think, dear God, what have I gotten myself into? Now, there's many of them that I actually adore being around. There's a very select few of a circle, a very small circle of people I trust the most. And my trust is not doled out like candy. You have to earn it, and that's difficult to do because of, well, how often I was stabbed in the back by people that I was supposed to feel safe and trust. But you show a man some compassion and they stab you in the back. I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. There really isn't no such gratitude for the wicked. They're not grateful that you're there as a friend. They're just so ungrateful as individuals. They're not happy about the fact that they have what they have. No, they want to go more and beyond. And under normal circumstances, I would have been happy about for them, you know? Hey, it's always great to be ambitious, to further your own career. There's nothing wrong with that. But to do it while stepping on other people, come on, we could be better than this, right, guys? We're better than this, or so we should be. I'd like to think at this point we should be better than that. And we're not. We're so quick to slit someone's throat. That's that. Done. Moving on. That we don't stop and consider how other people feel, especially the ones of whose throats we've slitted. We really don't think about them. I mean, that's done. That's yesterday's business. They're China's problem for all we care. It's deplorable. It's absolutely disgusting how they treat people. It really is. It's absolutely disgusting. And I look at this and I'm like, I was involved in this fandom and this one too. I was around some of the worst people, but then again, I was also around some of the best people I've met in my life as well. Right next to my brother Dimitri, who I had for mention from from a late video I've done, very recent. A brother of whom I'd happily take a bullet for, but I digress. I have met some excellent people. Because I have a lot of enemies I've made, I'm not going to mention their names because I don't want them singled out, targeted, or bullied. I'm not a bloody snitch. Snitches end up in ditches with stitches. You don't snitch on people. Nobody bloody likes a snitch. No one likes a rat. No one. Absolutely capitalized N-O. No one. And I can't blame them for feeling that way because I completely agree with their distaste for such individuals. I do not condone harassment or bullying or anything. I've actually gone beyond that. Years have passed. I've put in the past behind me. I'm done with that. I'm going to be honest and admit I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of. I've done some pretty unpleasant things in my past, but guess what? I've learned to go beyond that and do better. And I'm not admitting this like I have pride, but yeah, I do have autism. But you know what? It makes it difficult for me to do what's right, but because consider the fact that I've made this much progress in the right direction. For what it's worth, that's pretty fucking badass, man. It's difficult. It's constantly a challenge to do right, especially when so much is against you and so many forces are working against you all at the same time. It's difficult to do what's right. It really is. It's hard to do. But with the friends I've had that stuck it with me through it all, again, I express my sincerest gratitude. I'm so thankful to have you guys. You guys probably don't know. Words cannot express how happy I am to have you as brothers. I think it's just fucking awesome that you guys are there. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But I want to make that point be known how I feel about the Brony and Furry fandoms. Very bittersweet. What I joined the Brony fandom specifically because I wanted my work to be appreciated. I was looking for good friends that were loyal and were willing to be there for you as a friend. That's why I went through the trouble to search as much as I did, and I found a few good ones. I found some diamonds in the rough, ladies and gentlemen. I found some good individuals, and thank God for that. It shows that there are good people in the world, and I am so happy to say that. But for the ones that don't, seriously, screw you guys because you're horrible people. You're terrible, and what you do with the deliberate intention to hurt someone else, and that just makes you awful as a human in general. And that's the vast majority of bronies and furries I've met. They're very sociopathic. They're very manipulative, very hypocritical, very cowardly, very dishonest. Very. Such dishonor. So how's that love, tolerance, and friendship working out for you then, huh? Friendship is magic, my left ass cheek. I said that many times before I made this video on the previous, and I meant it. Friendship is magic, my left ass cheek. That's right. And they can hate me if they want. But that's just the way I feel. And I'm going to be obstinate in that opinion. You can't sway it. Unless I've seen better, which I haven't. Save for the paltry few that are in my very, very close-knit trust circle. That's not easy to get into, not in any capacity. So for them to have accomplished this, congratulations. That's not a sarcasm. I'm not being patronizing or condescending or being sarcastic like a prick. I actually mean that genuinely. Congratulations. You did something that very, very, very few people have ever succeeded at. You've earned my trust and you have kept it. And I'm proud to call them brothers. Well, that sums up everything on this video about how I feel about people as despicable as the furry and brony fandoms. They have been the most despicable people I've ever met in my life. They're just terrible people. And I would not recommend making friends with them. Not at all. You really need to be careful who you make friends with. You really need to be careful. Because you run into some of the most mentally unstable individuals. It's not pretty to go through. It's quite frankly very irritating. This isn't the first discussion video and likely won't be the last, but I'm telling you guys straight up how I feel, why I feel the way I do. Those two fandoms I've encountered were the worst. Absolutely the worst. And they function like a hive mind too. It's fucking creepy. Oh, God. It's just fucking weird. It's so creepy. They all share the same mental capacity, their own wavelength, their own frequency. Like they all think the same kind of thought process. It's so freaky. It's like Groundhog Day, but 10 times freakier. It's the same thing recycled again and again. It's just ugh. That sends chills down my spine in all the wrong ways. No, thank you, man. But yeah, that's how I feel. I've said all that needs to be said. The mass majority are just deplorable cowards that are hypocrites, manipulating psychopaths. Yeah, some of them are. They're both sociopathic and psychopathic. Both. Both are manipulative in their own ways. Both are dynamically different. But both characteristics of mentality have been exhibited from these two fandoms. Both. And that's not a good thing to say about the hope for humanity in general. It really isn't. But for the good people that I have encountered that are friends with me to this day, that does give me hope. thank you guys so much for listening to this video, for sticking through it all. Same as the last one. God bless you if you manage it. You're awesome. And I'll see you guys in my next video. This is Zombie Killer signing out. Have a good one.